Hi, this is Joe again with another review. For the sake of this video, I'm discussing the 1985 film Perfect. John Travolta, Jamie Lee Curtis also stars Marilu Henner, from the television show Taxi, in a small role. This film is based on the articles written by a particular Rolling Stones writer, and the film was played by John Travolta in the film. And when the film starts, it has two stories going on at the same time almost. John Travolta's character is covering a story about an entrepreneur who was accused of dealing drugs. And it was about to go to trial on it. So Rolling Stone asked him to see if he could get an interview with this guy, which he eventually does. And there's one story. While he's out in L.A., he's thinking of ideas to do another story about an aerobics studio and why aerobics became popular. And while that was the basis of the story, which eventually would become people who ended up meeting in this particular club and ends up getting married, or at least have a serious relationship or something. And while he's there, while John Travolta was there at the aerobics studio, he ends up meeting and falling in love with Jamie Lee Curtis, who was smoking hot. I mean, she was gorgeous in this movie, and she played in the movie, and to see her moving like that. I mean, if it doesn't get heterosexual males out there hot like me, if it doesn't get you hot, you're either blind or gay. If you don't get excited looking at Jamie Lee Curtis in this film, and at first, John Travolta wants to interview her, because she was called the Pied Piper of aerobics instructors. And at first she says no. Excuse me here, there's something in my eye. At first she says no, and then eventually she comes around and she tells John Travolta why she's reluctant to talk to reporters. And because she used to be, this is ridiculous. She used to be in a swimmer, and she was about to go into the Olympics, participate in the Olympics, but because it takes to Jimmy Carter, and it's funny that Jamie Lee Curtis would criticize Jimmy Carter in this role because of the fact that he's an ultra liberal, Hollywood liberal elite, an elitist from Hollywood, the Hollywood liberals, criticizing the great Jimmy Carter. Which is another story altogether. But because Jimmy Carter boycotted the 1980 Olympics because of the Russians invading Afghanistan, so she didn't get a chance to get an Olympic gold medal. Because she was good enough to win a gold medal at the 1980 Olympics, and she lost her chance. And so John Travolta said, how come we didn't try for the 84 games, which was here in LA? And she said, well, because there was a stint, because my Olympic coach, or my coach, ended up getting fired from his job, and there was an accusation that I was having an affair with my coach. Which at first she said was a total lie, but that she actually, later on in the film, admits that she actually did have an affair with her coach. And so we never was able to go through, because the whole hoopla, we decided to skip it and not have that chance. But now I have the chance of actually doing good and being the best Olympic aerobics instructor in the country. That's what I'm striving for now. And so John Travolta was going to do this other story really on her, but the original story about finding people hooking up in this gym was printed instead. And John Travolta got so pissed off he decided to quit. And quit over it, because it's not the story that he wanted to nix that story. And meanwhile, the other story about the executive who was going on trial for drugs or selling drugs, that went to trial, and John Travolta had like about a 3-hour interview or an audio tape, an audio cassette about the interview that he did with this guy, and he became a national story. And the prosecutor in that case wanted John Travolta to cough up the tapes from that interview, and he says, no, I'm not covering it up. with this privileged information and protecting my source and protecting the integrity. And I promised the guy I would never produce this material or produce the recordings of our interview to the public. And so because he was John Travolta was held in contempt and he was in jail till when the court case was over, and the businessman and the drug dealing businessman ended up getting acquitted in that case. And so after the case was over, John Travolta gets released from prison, and Jamie Lee Curtis picks him up at the end of the movie, and they pretty much right off into the sunset. You don't know if the guy was ever going to go back to Rolling Stone. You don't know if he's going to continue being a writer. It kind of leaves you hanging. But when this movie came out in 1985, it got crapped on by everybody. He said it was a lousy movie, lousy plot, and everything else. And I didn't think it was that. Sometimes a movie that's bad is actually pretty decent, in my opinion. And some movies that get like 4 or 5 stars in the paper, they usually suck. But the movie Perfect is not that. It's not a perfect movie. Excuse the pun. It's not a perfect movie, but it's it has a decent story, not a great one, and it's over about an hour 35 minutes, so it's really quite short. And you do see some pretty hot women in leotards, like Jamie Lee Curtis or Mary Lou Henner, which you can't complain looking at those two women, in leotards. You can't complain over that. So that's my review of the movie Perfect. Please click on the video, please rate it. Please subscribe to my channel. Please forward this video to your Facebook pages. You check out all my reviews on my YouTube channel at RowleyC.com. That's OWDY. C.com. That's the homepage of the Rowley Reviewer, Chris Moore. And please check out all of his videos on his website. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time.